Civil wars are devastating conflicts within a country that often result in immense loss of life, displacement, and destruction of infrastructure. Here is a list of 10 regions or countries that have experienced extremely dangerous civil wars. Syria. The Syrian civil war, which began in 2011, has resulted in a humanitarian catastrophe. The conflict involves various factions, including government forces, rebel groups, and extremist organizations. The war has led to widespread civilian casualties, mass displacement, and the destruction of cities and infrastructure. Yemen. The Yemeni civil war, ongoing since 2015, has had severe humanitarian consequences. The conflict involves multiple factions, including the government, Houthi rebels, and regional powers. The war has caused a dire humanitarian crisis, including widespread famine, disease outbreaks, and a deteriorating healthcare system. Afghanistan. Afghanistan has experienced decades of conflict, with the ongoing war involving the Taliban, Afghan government forces, and international troops. The conflict has resulted in significant civilian casualties, displacement, and the hindrance of development efforts in the country. South Sudan. South Sudan's civil war, which began in 2013, has had a devastating impact on the world's youngest nation. The conflict involves ethnic tensions, power struggles, and clashes between government forces and opposition groups. It has resulted in widespread violence, displacement, and food insecurity. Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. The DRC has experienced protracted conflicts involving multiple armed groups and regional powers. The ongoing violence has resulted in significant loss of life, displacement, and the exploitation of natural resources. The conflict has also fueled humanitarian crises, including food insecurity and disease outbreaks. Iraq. Iraq has faced ongoing conflicts, including the war against the Islamic State, IS, since 2014. The conflict has resulted in widespread violence, displacement, and the destruction of cities and infrastructure. The country continues to grapple with security challenges and political instability. Somalia. Somalia has experienced decades of conflict, involving various factions, including armed groups and regional powers. The civil war has led to significant instability, humanitarian crises, and the weakening of governance structures. Piracy, terrorism, and drought exacerbate the challenges faced by the country. Libya. Libya has been in a state of turmoil since the 2011 uprising, with rival factions vying for power. The conflict involves various armed groups, regional powers, and international interventions. The civil war has resulted in violence, displacement, and the collapse of institutions, contributing to a volatile situation in the country. Central African Republic, CAR. The CAR has experienced cycles of violence and conflict, often along ethnic and religious lines. The civil war has caused significant displacement, human rights abuses, and the breakdown of social cohesion. The country struggles with political instability and challenges in implementing peace agreements. Myanmar. Myanmar has witnessed ongoing conflicts involving the military and ethnic armed groups in various regions. The civil war has led to widespread violence, displacement, and human rights abuses, particularly against ethnic minorities. The situation remains complex, with challenges in achieving lasting peace and reconciliation. These examples highlight the extreme dangers associated with civil wars, including loss of life, displacement, and the breakdown of social and economic systems. Resolving civil wars requires diplomatic efforts, mediation, humanitarian assistance, and long-term strategies for peacebuilding and reconciliation.